Okay, I just got an email from somebody, and she asked a bunch of questions that I think a lot of people would be interested in knowing the answers to. Now, you could probably dig through all of my videos and find all of the information here, but you would have to piece it all together, and yes, my videos get kind of long, so this is a nice way to, like, put it, like, make it easily accessible so that you can see start to finish how I got to where I'm at right now. So anyways, um, the first question is, how long did it take for you to go from the first exam after you decided to get dentures to the work being completed? Well, I'm going to take it a step before that, because some people are not even at that point where they have decided to set up an appointment. They're still in the research stage, so I'm going to start from there. After I had my third child in September of last year, like, I was like, I got to do something about my teeth. The front tooth done chipped off. It's just awful. Like, something has to be done. So I was obsessively Googling everything I could possibly think of, trying to find ways to get my teeth fixed. Now, at that time, dentures, like I said, I hadn't considered dentures at all. I hadn't even really thought about them at that time. Well, I probably did, thinking like that was the worst case scenario. That's what I have to avoid. That's why I need to do my work right now and, do something before I end up with dentures. Like, that was what I thought then. Um, so naturally, I'm thinking that I'm going to need implants. And my teeth were in a state where they could not be saved at all. Like, I at least knew then that they had to go. Like, I'm smart enough to know that you can't make a tooth out of nothing. Like, there was nothing there. There was nothing to fix anymore. They were just, like, rotted all the way down to the gums. So that was really discouraging, because I knew how much implants cost, and, like, there was no way. There was just no way. Like, I talked to my parents about it and was like, y'all got to help me out somehow. I'm not asking you to pay for it for me. I will repay you everything that I possibly can. But, y'all didn't take care of my teeth when I was a kid before I was able to do it myself. And y'all didn't take me to the dentist. And now, I'm in debt to my mouth. Like, y'all got to help out some way. So they agreed that they would help out in any way that they could. But, like, I know that my parents are not made of money. They can't afford like $50,000, $60,000 on implants. So that was really discouraging. And that's what really kept me away from the dentist for so long, is because in my mind I'm thinking I need implants, because there is no alternative to that. I need a full mouth of implants, one by one, just new teeth all over. And that was what my idea was back then, because, like, I just didn't know any better. I did not know any better. So through all of my Googling and everything like that, I finally came across, like, dentures, and I started looking more into that. And I came across that website that I tell everybody about, and that is denturesanewsmile.ning.com. And it's just a community of people who are denture wearers or in need of dentures, or, full, partial. Like, there's all kinds of different stories as to how they got to the position that they're in right now. But these are people from, like, all over the world, different ages, different, like, backgrounds and everything. And they all have, that one thing in common and can talk to each other and relate. So I was lurking for, about a week or so, and I was checking out all of the pictures. Now, that's what really had me make my mind up. It was that I saw these people, and I just saw normal people smiling with pretty teeth, like I always wanted to. So that, just seeing them changed my whole idea and way of thinking when it came to dentures, because before I just didn't see it that way, because I didn't really know. Like, the only people I knew with dentures was, like, my grandma and people. One person, she had dentures. That's it. That's all. It's the only person I ever knew with dentures, and they weren't the greatest, I imagine, because they were probably made in the 50s or something. So anyways, so after seeing those pictures and reading what everybody else was saying about them and stuff like that, I was like, you know what? This is at least a start. it's a start. Like, I still didn't think that it was a long-term solution for me. Like, I was still on the implant bandwagon. Like, I have to get implants. I, you know, can't have these forever. This is just, you know, a way to get to, you know, my ultimate goal, and that is to get the implants. So I'd say probably, like, it was sometime in November, like, gosh, when was it? It's around Thanksgiving time. It was somewhere around Thanksgiving that I started Googling dentists in my area. I think I called one of them, and then I was kind of put off by the way the woman was on the phone, and so I called another one, which is the one that I ended up going with. What I typed in on Google was economy dentures, because I needed, like, bottom of the barrel cheap. That's what I needed, and I found Coastal Dental that was you know, not too far away from me. It was on the south side of town or whatever, and I saw their before and after pictures, and they looked pretty decent, and so I thought, well, I'll give them a call and see if I could set up an appointment. So that's what I did. I called them. The woman on the phone was really, really nice, and I set up an appointment. And at that point, my parents paid by credit. I think that the initial consultation was maybe like $87 or something like that, and that was for what I did at the very first appointment was they did x-rays to see what they were working with, and then, you know, assessed everything and was like, yeah, you are going to need dentures. They've all got to go, which I already knew, and it was extremely emotional, so I wasn't really listening too much. I mean, I was listening, but, like, I couldn't really focus on what he was saying because it was emotional, even though I already knew better. I knew that that's what had to happen. So anyways, I think that's the wrong water. It's kind of hot. Anyways, so they gave me a sheet of paper that broke down the cost for me. There was actually two. The first one was for temporary dentures, and basically what that was, I was to go in and get all of my teeth out and get these, which are temporary, dentures put in the same day, so that I do not have to go at any point without teeth. Like, I have them up front. And for me, that was just what I wanted. Like, a lot of you got your dentures like several weeks after having your teeth pulled. For me, that's just not what I wanted to do. So I wanted the temporary dentures. So anyways, so that was the first appointment. They broke down the cost, and the cost for that came up to $5,400. And I'm sitting there thinking, oh my God, like, how are we going to pay $5,400 for this? And then he gave me another quote for implant retained dentures, which I'll get into that in another video, but it came up to $22,000 for that. So I left really sad because my parents had applied for care credit, and they got approved for $3,900, which is not $5,400, and there was no way that I could come up with the remainder. I mean, it was already pushing it with the $3,900 because that's what I had to pay back to my parents, and we're a family of five, you know, on one income. So it's just extremely hard. Like, we're already pinching pennies to get by. So, you know, any added bills, we have to make cuts somewhere else in order to do that. So I called them back the next day. My appointment was set for like the next week, like a week later. And I called them back and I was like, you know, I'm probably going to have to cancel that appointment because I don't have $5,400. Like, my mom was approved for care credit. She got $3,900, and that's what we have, and that's the best we can do. And so she told me not to cancel the appointment, to call her back, and or she'll call me back and see what she can do. So she called me back and said that they would give me the cash discount. Like, if you pay everything up front with cash, then you get a certain percentage off. So it ended up only being $4,150 compared to $5,400, which is a major difference. So anyways, A week after that first appointment, I had to go in to get the molds done, and I was really freaked out by that because they put this goop, like for me it was like this blue goop that they put in these metal trays and put in my mouth and made me bite down. I mean, it was extremely uncomfortable, very awkward. My teeth were extremely brittle, and I thought that they might break off in the mold. Like, I was so paranoid that they would break off in the mold because my appointment was not going to be for another week, and I didn't want to have to go around for a week with like a missing front tooth or something. But it didn't happen. Like, they didn't break off or anything. I bit down and they took the mold of my teeth to get an idea of where to place everything and how to actually make the dentures. Then he came in and he showed me different sized teeth and shades and stuff like that, and this is what we ended up with. This was his initial suggestion, so he, you know, he made the right choice because they're actually shaped a lot like my natural teeth were. So anyways, that was the second appointment, which was a week later. Then exactly 1 week after that, which was December 15th, I went in to get all of the teeth removed. They, like, for a week before, I had to take antibiotics to clear up infection in my mouth and stuff like that. Then the night before, I took a lorazepam because I have serious anxiety problems. Then the next day, I took a lorazepam 2 hours before, and then an OxyContin an hour before the appointment. And gosh, every night, that's my husband, and he knows I make videos around this time. Anyways, and I was allergic to the OxyContin, so I ended up like getting more morphine or something like that while I was in there. I go to my appointment, my sister took me, and then they gave me a tranquilizer, which I didn't realize that's what they did. I kind of remember, like, I had to go over my paperwork to see what they did because that's what knocked me out while I was in there. They gave me a tranquilizer while I was in there. I just didn't remember because I was so out of it. So then, you know, he pulled my teeth, and then it was done. I had my dentures, and then you can see all the other videos of what I thought about them, which wasn't too great for the first 2 weeks. So basically, in a matter of 2 weeks, and just about 2 weeks, maybe just slightly, like maybe a few days more than 2 weeks, but around 2 weeks from start to finish, from my first appointment where he told me that I needed to have dentures to the day that I got my dentures, it was 2 weeks, and it cost $41.50, I believe. So it was nothing like I thought. And like I said, like, we're not made of money in our credit. Like, right now we are in the process of trying to rebuild. We're trying to buy a house next year, and so my parents had to apply for the care credit, which has ridiculous interest on their card, but you know, it is what it is. And then I was making payments to them every month for, gosh, how much were the payments? The payments were pretty expensive. I think that they were like $180 a month. But then my grandma paid them off, thank God. So anyways, so that was the cost, and type of dentures I got were immediate dentures, and they're meant to be temporary. And yes, they are removable. I take them out to clean them and everything like that. You're supposed to take them out at nighttime and sleep with them out and let them soak, but I don't. I choose to do that during the day while my husband is not here and I'm not like doing other stuff. So that's it. And it was a pretty simple process compared to like how I made it out to be. Now, briefly, because I've only got a minute left, about the implant thing, I'm not so quick to jump on that bandwagon anymore. Like, it's just not, I'm not in any kind of rush. Like, I'm functioning perfectly fine with my dentures. I look good with my dentures. Everything seems to be working out pretty good for me with that, which I did not anticipate. I really didn't. I thought, if my parents don't get a second mortgage on their home so I can get implants by July, like, I don't know what I'm going to do. That's what I was thinking coming into this. But now that I have given them a chance, like, I like them. It's not that bad. And really, you should do a lot of research on implants because they're not all they're cracked out to be. I mean, they are good, but they also, as with anything else in life, have their downsides, and it's not the end to how much money you're going to be spending at the dentist office. It's probably only the beginning. So I'm out of time. I hope that helps.